Yo, I heard from you in a minute. Yeah, I do. What is going on, though? All right. So tell them niggas to bring the smoke. We'll come lay them the fuck out. Simple. And come on, we family for life. Send me the details, and I'll be there. I'm on my way.
Who will make it to the next phase of the Power universe? Who will move on to the new spin-off Power Legacy? That is the topic for today's video, guys. I know there's been a lot of news and announcements this last couple days, this past week, and it's got everybody in a frenzy. But before we get into that, I want to make sure you guys check out my last video, Will Ghost Finally Return? This is a video that I've been meaning to do for a while once they kind of announced these spin-offs and stuff. I know everyone's kind of hoping that he makes a return, so check that out. Let me know what you guys think, and let's get to the topic at hand. So obviously, like I said before, there's been a lot of talk about these new spin-offs and Tommy and Tariq, and obviously Tariq potentially having a crossover in Season 3. But there hasn't really been a lot of discussion on who else is going to be in the shows, right? Who else might cross over with Tariq? Who else might join Tariq, Tommy, and Power Legacy? And in this video, that's pretty much what I'm going to be discussing. I'm primarily going to focus on characters that I think could cross over from Power Book to Ghost, because we haven't seen Season 3 yet, so we don't know who's going to survive or not. Let's get right into it.
I got to do this for Mom. All right, family first.
Family first.
Didn't finish that dance. I think my face will be the last one you see, right?
You could have had everything with me.
I had everything. Monet was everything. You're nothing. Thank you. And I promise I'm gonna pay you back. I'll pay you back.
So the first character up is Kane Tejada. Now, obviously, the last time we saw our boy Kane, he was at the hangar with Drew, Diana, and they pretty much had set up a plan to catch Noma, in the act, trying to book her private jet or whatever. And, it kind of backfired on them, and Kane found himself in a position where he really had to sacrifice his freedom and himself for, Diana and Drew, and to get revenge for Monet. And as we've seen, right, he was obviously finally able to get his revenge on Noma for killing his mother, Monet. But at what cost, right? This cost him his freedom. He ended up having to be in a shootout with the police and, ended up having to go on the run and pretty much just be away from his family, which was the whole point of all of this. And this whole plan was to get rid of Noma quietly and, focus on bringing the family back together. But obviously things didn't turn out that way. That being said, we know that Kane is on the run right now. And, Effie kind of came to his rescue and she was like, what the hell are you going to do? Right? They're looking for you all over the TV. The police are on you. The feds, they're trying to get you for what you did. So you're going to have to go on a run and you don't have any money. And Effie, the one who we know is the most selfish character on the show and always looking out for herself, she sacrificed all the money that she made and gave it to Kane. And she pretty much told Kane to take that money and to just fucking disappear and go on the run. And that kind of led to this whole Kane storyline of him being on the run. Kind of like when Tommy faked his death in, that season of Ghost, right? So I think this is a very similar storyline. Kane is alive in the universe, and we don't know where he's at. We don't know where he's going. But I know in Power, if your character's alive, there is always a chance for a return. And you guys know how I feel about Woody McLean. He's a phenomenal actor. I thought he was the best actor and character on the show, and I would love to have him back in the Power universe. And I think he should pop up, at least a couple times, just for the fans and just to give us closure on this storyline, because a lot of us felt like it just didn't really make any sense. So I definitely think he deserves to be in Power Legacy.
Effie, you're gonna be overseeing the colleges, running shit through Course Perfect like back in the old days.
But thank you. Everything I said, I was a dickhead, so.
It's all good. It's whatever. You're good at what you do, and that's exactly what we need. But from now on, there's a chain of command. Everything goes through me.
Cool.
Now, last time we seen Effie, she had obviously, like you guys seen in the Kane intro, she had given her money to Kane, and so he could run off and, be safe or whatever for the police and whatnot. But see, this is one of the things that kind of pissed me off about Effie's character. Like, they really just contradicted her character. She spent all that time complaining about how she didn't want to be in the game, how she wanted to stack her bread and get out. And once she finally got some bread, what did she do? She gave it to Kane. So now she finds herself in the same position that she was in the first couple seasons, working with Tariq, but now pretty much under his command. And like he said, everything is running through him. So she's kind of in the worse position than before, but at least she got a job, right? At least she's making some money. And, you know, this whole group of Effie, Brayden, and Tariq, I feel like it's almost like a package deal at this point, and you got to throw Effie in there, especially with how her character was done dirty. We know we had that storyline with her mom popping up, and we only saw her for one scene, and then she just disappeared. I hated that shit. So they definitely need to bring Effie back and redeem her character. I definitely think she deserves to also be in Power Legacy.
I need you to run the fight clubs. You gotta find another band so we can keep these underground parties running too.
Yeah, say less.
Things are gonna change a little bit. It could work for me, but you're not gonna be my partner no more, B. I can't keep dealing with you fucking up over and over again, bro. One fuck up and you're out. That's it. You in or not?
Man.
Now, when it comes to crackhead Brayden, right, last time we seen him and Tariq had a very serious conversation. And, you know, Tariq made it very, very clear that if they're going to do business together, they can no longer be partners. Brayden is untrustworthy. He's out of control, right? He's on drugs. I'm surprised Tariq's even doing business with him in general. I personally would never have someone on my team who's dipping in the product. But, you know, being that they are close friends and whatnot, almost family, Tariq, you know, he said he's going to still work with him, so I can understand that. But Brayden's going to be in a position kind of just like Effie was, where he's just back to where he was before in a demoted role. And obviously, I think, like I said before, these three, they're like a package deal. You can't really have one without the other. These other two characters kind of help push Tariq's storyline forward. So I definitely think Brayden should pop back up. And again, just like Effie, I feel like they did his character dirty in season 4 because the development from season 1 to 3 was great. And then season 4, you just turned him into a crackhead. So I think they definitely need to redeem his character as well. And he should most definitely pop up in Power Legacy.
Do what I want with my life from now on. You should do the same.
Can't lie, this food look real good.
I miss these family dinners. Thank y'all for having me back.
Well, me too. Now shut up and let's eat.
Greens could use a little bit more seasoning.
Time we seen Diana, she seemed to be in a very, very confused place, right? Kane's on the run, Monet's gone, Zeke's dead, and Drew's going to Paris for his art fellowship, right? So she's pretty much on her own. And Drew's telling her, like, yo, I'm doing the fuck what I want to do in my life now. You should do the same. You should take control of your life. And it's interesting how they really did a full circle with Diana's character. She never wanted to be in the game in the first place. Her and Drew were always complaining about how Monet was controlling them, and they weren't able to make their own choices. Well, now she has a choice, and it seems like she wants to be in the game. And after she caught these couple bodies, and it seems like they were kind of teasing her being the next Monet. And here's what I would say to that. I don't really care to see Diana again. I didn't really fuck with her character like that. And outside of the baby storyline with Tariq, I don't really see what purpose she serves in any spinoff anymore. I don't see what purpose her character serves. We don't need another Monet. I do not think Diana should be in Power Legacy. Not at all.
Expect you both to withdraw your complaints to the bar. I want my fucking license back.
Do we have an agreement?
What about Kane Tejada? Where's he?
We don't know. McLean and Associates doesn't presently represent him.
Now, when it comes to Davis McLean, we know he managed to take the win at the end of the season 4 finale. We know he managed to get his law license back after pretty much striking the deal with Jenny and Blanca Rodriguez. And they pretty much, you know, turned Noma in and blamed OB and just threw Noma's entire organization, you know, to the front hold and blamed them to get Tariq and Diana and Kane and all of these people, you know, out of the mix. So he did a good job with that. And he's a great lawyer. And I think just like Proctor had Ghost and Tommy, I think that, you know, Tariq and Tommy could definitely use Davis McLean in the new spinoff as their lawyer. He don't got to be like a series regular. He can be like a reoccurring character whenever they need him. He could just kind of pop up and handle what he needs to handle. But I definitely am a big fan of Method Man. I'm definitely a huge fan of Davis McLean. I thought he did a great job in this role, and I wouldn't be mad at all. I would love it. He could reprise his role, and I definitely think he deserves a chance to be in Power Legacy. Get him in there.
Still taking the fucking ride. That's a fact. As long as my spare key works, I'm out of there. Oh, baby, I missed you.
Get the fuck out of my car!
Motherfucker, this is my shit.
Now, last but not least, we have Tubbit, and this is a character that the writers have really just pissed me off with. Completely misused, completely undervalued this character, and they literally brought him back last time for one scene just for Tariq to steal his car back. Are you serious? You really called this man to do one scene for 30 seconds where he barely even says 2 words? You know, like, it's just a waste. So I think he's definitely one of the characters that deserves to be in Power Legacy, and I honestly think that Tommy should call him too. Like, have Tubbit pop up in Power Book Force Season 3. Like, Tommy, he's going to need all the help he can get. If he's calling Tariq, he must be in quite a dire situation. So I think calling Tubbit and having him crossover as well would be even more dope. Now you have a group of OGs coming back, and, you know, it makes for an even better season. But Tubbit definitely, I think, should pop up in Power Legacy. Now, whether or not he should be a main character or a series regular, doubt that would ever happen, but at least get that man some screen time, man, because they've done him dirty. Appreciate you guys. I couldn't do one on Force because we don't know who's going to survive yet, but definitely once Power Book Force Season 3 is over, I'm definitely going to do another recap video when we have some more information on who survives and the characters, and we'll do an updated one with the cast of Power Book Force. Catch you guys on the next one.